Okay, gang, so what we're doing here with our little action cam with the shitty audio is this is a behind the scenes here that Dave and I are working on possibly doing a live stream where we actually live mix.
Yeah.
And today is not a live stream. Today is going to be we're doing a practice run that Dave's going to work on the console, which he hasn't done in a bit, and we're talking about the session and how we're going to set it up, and we're just kind of we're just kind of thinking through. So we're just taking you guys behind the scene. We're just using our GoPro. We're using the audio off the GoPro. We don't have lav mics. The audio's going to suck. The lighting's probably not great, but this is just a behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
And anything that I feel like we need to do, I'll just shoot with the iPhone here, and then.
Yeah, this is literally just sitting down and trying to figure out what we're going to do. You know, this is the actual mix prep stuff. So,
yeah, this is just mix prep. So so you're saying he's got a session. You got a session here.
Yeah, I've got a session. This is the last single I mixed for my independent artist, Black Magic Marching Band. Song's called Katie Secret Superstar. Now I did do some track prep in the box at home before I brought it here, as far as like I broke them all out into monos.
Okay.
Because there were some stereos. I broke them all out to monos.
That's good. And
just to make the setup in the matrix easier, just put 29 mono channels in and roll right down.
Yeah, that's for this it's probably that's easier. We should keep it simple this time.
Yeah. But it's an odd little session. I mean, well, everything he does is a little odd, which is one of the reasons I like him, because it's not conventional.
Yeah, it's kind of eclectic music, kind of in a way, right? It's
really like he's very, very heavily influenced by late '60s, early '70s psychedelia and the Beatles and that kind of like odd feel, like more avant-garde than conventional.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I've always loved what he does, and the fact that he asked me to mix it always makes me happy.
It'll be fun. And you're familiar with enough of the session that you can
I did mix this once already as a single release.
Right.
So I know the session pretty well. But what he has is he has a stereo drum sample.
Let's take a look at this prep. Here's the session here that you got it on paper here. So 29 tracks, all mono.
Mm-hmm.
You got everything from acoustic guitars, drums.
No, there's no acoustics. It's all electric. He's just got the way he always records is he breaks the sections down.
Yeah.
Like he records chorus guitars, he records verse guitars, and then you get them all on separate tracks.
Oh yeah, all right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one thing I did do is I took the bass, because the bass was broken down too. I did take the bass and comp it all into one track.
Sure.
So because that runs all the way through.
Yep.
Because the way I tend to mix him anyway is the elements that run all the way through the song.
Yeah.
I mix those together, and then everything else gets added in around it, so that there's a constant stream running all the way through the whole song.
Got it. Yep.
So like the drums and the bass in this case are the only things that run all the way through the song. So the drums and the bass, they're comped together. They're just going to run straight through. I mix those two together, and like I said, I just add everything else in around it and layer everything else around it, so that you don't lose them. But it's all there, you know. And also they run up the drum track is left, right, but it's still pretty mono.
Yep.
The bass is going to be mono up the middle.
What else you got here?
So he's got, and I broke it up so that I don't have, because the way it would have worked out before is the 12 strings would have gone from here to here. So I want the 12 strings all together. So I put them to the right. Okay. So I said the drum bus. I'm gonna send the drums to the drum bus, and then also he's got a tambourine in the chorus and a shaker in the bridge only. I'm gonna put those through the drum bus. I'm not gonna give them a separate percussion bus. No reason to. And then he's got all 6 strings, left, right through the verses and the choruses.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I was figuring put them through a guitar bus and run them. I'm thinking. I'm gonna ask your opinion on a few things.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You know, he's got some synth stuff. He's got synth flute strings, stuff like this. So I'm gonna run a synth bus, and then the 12 strings are in the bridge only, and they kind of swell and grow.
Okay.
And it's a very dramatic section. So like I'm putting them into their own bus, and then the Vox is he runs like a mono verse Vox, and then he has like unison left right in the bridge and the chorus.
Okay.
So I figure they're all lead. There's no background. So I'm going to run them into a stereo Vox bus and compress them as one unit. You know what I mean?
Got it.
The drum bus, like I said, because these are samples, I'm going to put those through the NG bus. I want to push the saturation on them a little bit.
Okay.
You know, give it a little bit of crunch. Not a lot, but a little bit of crunch to it.
Okay.
The bass on this, I want it to punch more than smooth.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm thinking V-Comp, but I'm not sure.
V-Comp will be more smooth than punch.
Okay.
Did you say punch more than smooth?
I want punch more than smooth.
Use something like try a DBX 160.
Yeah.
Try a punch more than smooth. You can even try a distressor.
Okay.
V-Comp will be
because I don't want
thick, round.
Yeah, I don't want LA2A.
Oh, then V-Comp is going to go beyond LA2A.
As far as smoothing it out is concerned?
Smooth, and it's going to thicken it up. It's going to get really,
I may try it, though.
Yeah, you can try it. You know, if you want.
Because this is a very bass-forward mix.
Yeah, or an 1176 style.
All right, we'll see.
Something like that. Yeah, okay, cool.
The guitars, the verse guitars are... You know, there's like... I have the 12-string stereo, and I have the verse guitar stereo.
Okay.
The 12 strings are aggressive. The verse guitars, I think, are a little bit smoother. So I'm thinking maybe LA3A on the guitars, and then I don't know what to do with the 12 strings.
Are they 12 strings? You can do 1178.
Yeah.
You can do. You know what else might be good on 12 strings? 260 VU.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good thought. And then on the Vox,
or you know what else would be good on 12 strings? The RIA.
Maybe, yeah. Know what? That's actually an idea.
The RIA?
Yeah, the RIA is actually, I think, the better idea.
And I think you're looking, you may have been looking to picking up a RIA, so you maybe should use it and listen to it a bunch, you know what I mean?
And then I was actually thinking, because I did do this much in the box, is I took each one of the vocal tracks, and I ran them through my Bluey.
Okay.
Just standing the needle up a little bit, like not like crushing it or anything like that, but I ran it through the Bluey because I really love the Bluey on vocals. I really do.
Well, that's a change of heart. That wasn't like that.
Believe me, yeah, I hated the Bluey. I hated the Bluey.
You said you didn't like it.
I will never own one of those, you know. And then I bought it literally just because it was $500 and it's a sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, and that's the what's it? That's 600. That's the 500. That's a double. That's a double wide, right?
It's a double wide 500 unit mono. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which I hate giving up 2 slots to something, but you know that's the way it is. But what happened is when I did the cover song mixing challenge, because Brandon's voice is not aggressive at all.
No.
You know. No. So like I says, I need to add some kind of edge to this.
Yeah. So
I ran it through the Bluey, and it was like angels singing. Yeah. It's like that's the sound.
It's got that thing.
Yeah. So the Bluey is going to almost become my go-to vocal compressor.
I mean that's CLA's thing. That's what he says. He says 99% of his vocals in any style of music he puts through that blue stripe.
Yeah. It just for some reason.
I guess once you get used to it, and you like it.
Well, what it is it's like a laser focus on the vocals. It puts the vocals right. You know what I mean? Yeah. It takes a vocal and just shoves it right in your face, which is what you want.
Yeah.
The vocal, your song is the vocal. Everything else is there to support the song.
And it gives it a little, not distortion, but it gives it a little texture.
Gives a little edge.
Yeah,
just a little bit of edge to it. So I did that, and I did that with this one too. Like I only stood the needle straight up, so maybe 3 to 5 dB compression, not crushing it. You know what I mean? And then I de-essed it. You know, with the SPL de-esser, I did do that. Okay, so what we should probably do is write down what gear you think you want to use, because I think part of what we want to do. Yeah, that's going to be NG bus. Yeah, part of what we want to do is the 12 string. I'm going to try the RIA. As soon as you said RIA, I'm like, that's it. I think you'll like that. Yep. The guitar bus, I want to use the LA3A because I love LA3A on guitar anyway, and you don't have a Pi compressor. If you had a Pi compressor, I'd be all over it. Don't have one of those. But so that's going to be the LA3A. The synths, they're synths. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what... You probably don't even need the compressor, really? Are they, aggressive, or are they more pads? No, it's pads. It's all pads. Let the console do that. Yeah, all right, so we're going to leave that out. You can always patch something later. Yeah. The Vox... Or you can always throw a plug-in on it in the box if you really wanted to. The Vox, I keep on thinking either DBX 160 or lead vocal? Yeah, either that or the 1178. So you know.
Well, you already did the Bluey.
I already did Bluey, so it's already got FET on it. So that's why I'm thinking DBX 160A.
Yeah, you could do
You know
that.
what I mean? So okay, so DBX.
Or you can do the SSL E-Series Dynamic. That's a VCA too.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the DBX. I think you know.
I mean, that's fine.
So and then like I said, for the bass, this is a bass-centered song. You know what I mean?
I would try something FET style.
So okay.
I would start. You have like just one track.
One track, yeah. It's, and it's mono. I'm actually thinking Bluey.
Is it? Why not the Bluey?
Bluey,
or the 7 or the AS or the AudioScape 76A.
Either that or either the Bluey or the E.
Or the what?
The Bluey or the E, not the A, the E.
We don't have any. You mean the F?
The F, yeah. The F. Sorry. Forgot what
Yeah.
Either the Bluey or the F, one or the other.
You could
do
that.
What I mean?
You could do that.
But like I said, it doesn't need. They're not going to need much more than that. Because first of all, he's really good at recording.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's really good.
Yeah.
You know. So
remember, the console's good. The console's going to level things out right out of the box.
Yeah.
So what you'll find is you're not going to need gear on everything.
Yeah.
You're going to find.
And for that matter, the way this is breaking out. Almost all of this is bus compression.
Yeah, that's even better for this test.
Yeah,
it'll keep it simple.
Yeah, it's all about. I mean, I could put the bass on either the insert or the bus. It's not going to matter.
No, it's not going to matter. The only thing is if you wanted to A/B it.
Yeah.
If you do it on the bus, the A/B's either got to be at the compressor or it's got to be. If there is no bypass, it has to be threshold all the way down.
Yeah.
Dial it in. But if you're using DBXs on the bass, is that what you said?
Bluey or the F on the bass. I want the bass to punch a little bit. That's why I'm thinking that.
Do you have an off on that? I think you do. I think there's an off on either one. On the attack on the F, you just turn it all the way off. That'll turn the attack off.
On the Bluey, you don't have that.
You don't have. Do we not have a? We may not. I don't remember.
No, the Bluey isn't always on.
Okay.
But that's fine. I can always.
You don't even need.
I can always patch it last minute too.
Well, you can always just. No, you know what you have? You have the wet dry knob on the Bluey.
Oh yeah.
Blend. Right now it's all the way wet, but you see you have that on the 500, don't you?
I think so.
Yeah, it's the big knob. It's the one closest to the right there. That's wet dry.
Blend?
Yeah, that's blend.
Okay, so take that all the way out.
You can start with it off and then bring it in if you want. That's the other.
I had no idea he had an off button on these things.
Yeah, he does on the 7. He has them on all of them, I think.
Look at him go.
On the attack time.
Yeah, look at him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does on all of them.
Yeah, which is cool.
Man, he thinks of everything. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks about this desk is you don't bypass at the group.
Yeah,
that kind of sucks.
Okay, one of the things when they come out with the Origin 2, add a bypass on the bus inserts.
I actually wanted to have it. I actually talked to them about having it modded, and they said and I said, how hard could it be? I mean, he said the mod is not an easy mod for whatever reason. I said, really? Because I would have had it modded, had a fucking switch thrown right in.
Yeah. Put a frickin' bypass button all the way down here for the insert.
Absolutely.
Insert bypass.
I would have loved to have that, but it doesn't have it. So you gotta kind of.
There's things on the master out that we wanted too. We wanted to be able to be able to reroute the bus compressor.
He said it's not an easy mod to do.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I mean so when you come up with Origin 2, add a way to add a way to route the insert for the bus compressor. Right. Add insert bypasses on these. You know, I mean
it is what it is.
Small things that just make your life a little easier while you're mixing.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you're really looking for.
Yeah, so part of what we're doing here, everybody, is we're just, this is, we're trying to figure out how he's going to set up the session. Or not so much how to mix with it, it's because we're going to do it eventually as a live stream content to try to get it all prepped.
Yeah, because
dialed in, short and sweet, so you can when we turn on the live stream, you could just get to mixing. Everything's kind of pre-mapped out for you, so you could get it done in 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, and I also don't want to be stumbling around trying to remember how to do things. It's been a year since I did a mix on this.
Yeah, so you want to get
I think it's closer to 2 years since I did a mix on this.
Probably, yeah.
You know, so I've had my hands on the board a lot for demonstrations and stuff, but that's not mixing.
No, it's not.
So this is where okay, the board is zeroed out.
Board is zeroed out.
I've got 29 tracks. Okay. We have to build a session. I've got to tape the board.
Yep. Tape it up.
We got to
patch the gear.
Got to patch all the gear, and then because oh, by the way, I don't know how you were gain staging.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the tracks, everything but the vocals I had come out at -12.
Sure.
And then the vocals came out at -6.
Yeah, that's fine. You can also adjust the outputs in Studio One if you wanted to lower or raise them.
Yeah, but I was figuring just have them come out of the level that the board's going to be happy with.
Yeah.
And that we can push the you can push the
yeah, you could do that right up on here anyway.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking for as much board color as I can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're gonna you come out a little more conservative.
Yeah, because like when you're sitting in front of a frickin' SSL, you want the board to be the star of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's got
a sound to it.
I'm mixing on an SSL. I want it to say, hey, I mixed that on an SSL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want it to have some personality. It's like if you came out really conservative and weren't pushing your preamps or anything, you're not getting any personality out of the board.
That's true.
Know?
That's true. So well, the other thing too is you want to come out conservative, so you're not clipping the converters coming out.
Yeah, that's that too. That's always the consideration too. Is
there's not a ton of headroom in the converter.
Yeah, there's not a huge amount of headroom there, and clipping a converter at this stage just sounds like crap. I don't, So,
no, we don't want to do that.
So you don't want to do that.
Okay, so now what you're going to do is I got your thumb drive loaded up. No name, see it on the bottom.
Yeah.
You can pop this. Let's You did it in you just have files, right? You don't have it in Studio One.
Yeah,
okay.
I just have.
All right, so then let's open up a Studio One session. Okay, so now everything's set up now, or almost. You're routing all your stuff out, right?
Yep. This is the fun part.
Yeah, so part of the setup process for people that don't know. So the first thing you got to do when you get a session, the first thing I always do, and Dave did it too, is you got to build yourself a map, which is right here, a track list map. And he's kind of mapped it out on paper. Where do you want it to all kind of fall on the console? So you have 64 faders here, so you could in essence run 64 mono tracks, one to each fader. But typically what I try to do is I try to keep as much as possible in the 32 long faders. And then sometimes I'll spill over to 40 faders if I'm using some of the shorts.
Yeah, but even if you have to comp things together.
So you got to decide where do you want it laid out on your console? How are you going to comp things in your DAW to achieve that? And then once you do that, then you go into your DAW, in our case Studio One, and you create an I/O matrix, and you create all the outputs, which is now what he's routing everything to. He's routing each individual mono track out to an output on the fader.
Yeah, this is the exciting stuff.
So this whole setup process, because you already prepped all the audio files at your studio, is maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, because you're still new to Studio One and you haven't done it in a while.
I'm not a Studio One guy. I'm a Reaper guy.
So from typically if I set up a session from beginning to end, it's about a 45-minute process to edit everything, get everything routed out, create my I/O matrix, organize the session. Yeah. So then once you get it out to the console, you're mixing now. You're not monkeying around in the system anymore. Yeah. Oh. So the next step after you've done all of that and he's color coded everything is now he's gonna.
And has the color code where he wants.
Now he's gonna label the console. So let's get Dave some console tape. We'll use lime green today because why not?
Ooh.
So there's your console tape.
Loud.
And
Sharpie.
He needs a Sharpie, so we'll get him a Sharpie. Here's your Sharpie.
Thank you.
So now he gets to label the console, which is always my favorite part of doing this. And then once he does that, and then we're going to hit play in Studio One, and he's going to just check the levels coming into the console, adjust things as needed. You're going to route stuff to your buses.
Yeah, I think I'm only going to be using 6.
Yeah, 6 buses, and then we're going to he has a list of what he wants to do as far as the gear he thinks he wants to use. And again, normally, so we're going to route out to his gear again for the sake of we're going to try to do this in a video and a live stream. If we were doing a live stream, we want all the gear kind of patched before we hit record, before we go live, because then if you don't do that, then the live stream is going to just take way longer than it needs to, and people will be bored. So
do not judge my handwriting.
Well, let's check out his handwriting, everybody. So here is the behind the scenes of how you actually set up a session. My video is probably 2 years old now. I should probably do another one on a session prep. My workflow has changed. I'll do another one. If you guys want one, let me know in the comments below and we'll do another one. But this will be pretty cool. And then once he's all set up and we have everything coming into the board and he has everything routed and he has all his gear patched, then we'll turn on all the cameras and we'll just hit record and we'll let him mix. And we'll just see how it goes. So once we get ready to go, we'll come back and we'll update you. Okay, so now we're patching in gear.
So the bass is channel 5. Channel 5, send to the bluey, which is, you have that on number, well, I'll go bluey, because it's got a, I'm trying to remember, it's a little crunchy. I don't know if I want to crunch up. I'm gonna use the F. I'm gonna start with the F. If I want to change it later,
you can always change it. I mean,
yeah, so 36 in. All right, so that's the bass. Verse guitars, I love LA3As. I'm getting a pair of these sooner or later. I don't know when, but sooner or later I'm getting a pair of those. Because in all honesty, that's the only LA3A 500 rack I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, so
you'll like them.
All right, so guitar bus is bus. Yeah, bus 3. And LA3As are 27 and 28 on the 500. Yeah.
Isn't this fun, guys?
Oh, this is the fun part of it, guys.
Watching Dave patch gear.
Well, they've watched you and me plug gear in so many times, you know. So the synth I'm leaving alone.
Okay.
So the next one is going to be the 12-string on bus 5. Yeah, so bus 5 is going to be the 12-string. And what did I say on that? The RIA, yeah. So we're going to go to bus 5. And your RIA is,
I don't know what number it is.
25 and 26.
And you'll be able to control that with the plug-in too.
Yep.
I'll show you where we can put that in the DAW.
Yeah, that's kind of, that and the NG bus.
Yep, you can put them both in the DAW. Yep.
Actually, I wonder then, thinking about that now, I wonder if I should use the...
you can use the NG76.
The NG76 on the bass.
You could do that.
You know what I mean?
Because that's got a couple of different flavors too. Yeah. It's got a vintage and a classic kind of a thing. It's also got the tube saturation in it.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to make that change.
Good.
Now that I thought about it.
Could do that.
I think I am going to make that change. So the bass is now going to be going to... What number are you? You're 12. All right. Leave me alone. Don't bother me today. I told you guys, don't bother me today. Okay, and then the Vox 160A.
Okay.
That's kind of where I fell on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's already got FET, so if I put it to the 1178, I'm kind of doubling down on it.
Yeah, so you can use either there's number 41 to 44. The two bottom ones are the modded ones. The two top ones are the stock units.
What about this one?
That's 260 VU. You said 160A.
Did I say? Okay, which way do I want to go then? Do I want to go with 260
a lead vocal?
VU? Yeah, on a lead vocal.
Either way, if you want VC, I would try to 160A. I think you'll like that.
Okay.
So either one of the ones up top.
The
so
modded,
41,
43, 44.
43 or 44.
Yeah, I want the modded ones. So those are down here. If I could see. I didn't need new glasses. Okay. Yeah.
There you go. So this is why we have people always ask, why do you got all this gear? This is why you have all this gear. Because they're all different choices. They're all different flavors. And again, normally, if we weren't going to do a live stream, you could maybe do this on the fly during a mix and make your decisions based on what you hear. But for the purposes of this exercise, we're just going to kind of pre-pick all the gear and we're going to live with it. And that's it. You just decide what you want to do up front.
We're going to gain you to 0.
So that'll be good. And then here's the console.
Take the threshold all the way.
So he's got all 29 tracks I think he's using this time. He's only using a handful of buses, which is cool. And then he's come down here and he's got a couple empty tracks down here.
So I got NG bus. I switched over to what is this model anyway? NG76.
That's the NG76. That's all plug-in too.
Changed my mind. LA3As. That's the RIA, and then these are the DBX 160A mod.
Cool.
Okay, and that's basically everything I'm going to use right now. I mean, if I feel like an individual track needs something, I may throw something else in, but like I said, he's really good.
Okay.
So, you know.
Okay, so now the next step is why don't we route everything to your buses? So let's use the routing matrix to get all your...
Yeah.
So the easiest way to do that, let's say, what's your first one? Drums?
Drums, yeah.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to hit 1 and 2. So just hit those, just press them down so they're blue. Right. And then on each individual track, you'll see a route button. It's up towards the short fader. Down, you'll see... Right.
Yeah, route to bus.
Yep, route to bus. Now hit 1 and 2 again, and once those turn solid, now you'll see...
Yep.
That those are there.
Those are there and those are there. Okay,
yep.
So then your bass is going to be... bass is 3 and 4, but it's mono, but you still need them both, right?
Yep, and then what you do is... And then what you can do down here is you can just press both these in, and that'll make it mono.
Okay, and then you take your bass over here.
Same thing. Route.
And then...
There you go. Yep.
Okay, so then guitars...
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, 5 and 6 are going to be... Lost my blues.
Nope, you won't lose the blue. You only... No, because you're adding... You'll see when you... Because now that you're adding a new one...
Yeah.
You only want to see the blues that you're going to route to the buses that you just activated.
Yeah. Okay.
Now when you go back and hit those again, watch what happens. See now?
Oh, okay. See? All right. Scared me.
So you don't...
Yeah.
So you don't accidentally unroute something that you've already routed.
Yep. So then we're going to go 7/8 is my synth. Yes. Okay. So. All right. That's the end of my synths. Yep. Okay. So everything's good there.
And you come down here to this side and
12 string, 9 and 10. Yep. And then Vox. And that's all of it. Okay, so those are all lit. Those are all lit. Beautiful.
Great. Okay. So now what you want to do is you'll see on each track here, you have a thing that says long fader to mix.
Yep.
If you have if everything's routed to the buses, you don't want to hear a double volume, so just take those out.
Take all those out.
Yeah. Now you'll only hear them at the bus level.
Okay.
Now, if you weren't routing something to one of the buses, you would
leave that long fader to mix.
Right.
Okay, so that's everything across that.
Okay.
So then...
So the next thing I do, before I even turn up any faders, you could turn up the groups, but starts with the faders, I would start playing back the session, and we should see stuff coming in on the meter bridge. And now this is the input meter, not the output meter. So you can make an adjustment here. And what I would normally do, like I said, if you saw something like this, I'd be like, yeah, it's taut.
Yeah.
So what on this board, people think of the SSL, they think of the old 80s consoles.
Yeah.
Where you drive all the lights to oblivion, and that's where that console sounds good.
Yeah.
This console doesn't sound good that way.
Right.
This console here
sounds good right around there.
Yeah, usually about a few of the amber LEDs up on stuff
like that.
Yeah, that's kind of kick. Sometimes snares I would push a little bit more if I wanted a little more grit. Once you get beyond this, I don't know what number it is on the VU meter. I just look at the lights.
Yeah.
That's usually, to me, where the sweet spot is on this console for me. But again, you could tweak it. So before I even start turning up and listening to shit coming out of the speakers, I just want to make sure I'm not clipping anything or nothing's way too low.
Yeah.
And then I'll start auditioning and listening and making some final adjustments from there.
Yeah. Okay. So the 12 strings are in.
Yeah, that actually looks all pretty good. And what I found too is because you gain staged it well in Studio One, kind of like I do, it's usually very little tweaking I have to do here. It usually comes in right around what you're seeing today.
Yeah, like I said, I've got them all coming out at a pretty uniform level. So
and then the other thing you can do, what I do also, but you've already done it, I could tell, but just for our viewers here in Studio One, what I do is I look at the outputs, and then I drag. I can see them coming out of the converters. So here's all the outputs that you've created. So I can see nothing's clipping. I can see where we're at -12, -12, -9. So you were saying earlier, if I had to adjust in Studio One, you can adjust the output here. So you wouldn't have to go, but you know what I mean? You can adjust everything there if you needed to.
Yeah.
So, and then I can also look at, and you won't see it yet, but the print track, you don't have anything on the print track because
I don't have any volume coming out. Right. So like if I just for the hell of it.
Yeah, you're at the end of the song. So what you may want to do is set a loop in Studio One from the beginning of the song to the end of the song.
Okay, hold on. Let me, do we have transport control on here anywhere or no?
No, the space bar. That's all going to change soon though. When we get the law remote, that's also going to be transport control.
Okay, so let me loop the whole song.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. I need a loop. I need
enabled. Right, and then I'll...
Okay, what's that?
But what we can do, Dave, is we can record behind the scenes of you doing a static mix.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
So what we were talking about was, guys, before we start doing live streaming and recording videos, just to get Dave reacclimated to the consoles, he's just kind of panning stuff. He's not doing any EQ. He's just panning and faders and making sure we're not clipping the buses and just getting used to the whole, hey, I'm sitting behind a console and it's a little different than what I'm used to thing. This is the first time you're listening to the trios too, Dave.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if you hear stuff that you've never heard before in this song when you're mixing on these speakers. Because these speakers are super detailed, man. They're great. And I'll take you guys back here while he's doing that. So, again, what we're going to be able to do back here... Again, I'm sorry for the shitty audio, but like I told you, this is just behind the scenes. So what we can do... So I can switch when we're recording videos. I can just switch everything live, right over the top of the console, right. I'm doing everything right from my ATEM switcher, which is great. There's camera 3. We don't have camera 4 hooked up yet. We will in a minute. And there's the DAW, right. I can see the audio levels coming in here on the software. This is the software that controls this ATEM. So this is the SSL coming in. Right now it's coming in a little conservative, which is totally fine. And I'll show you where that kind of comes in here. It comes in here on my Rodecaster Pro. So the SSL is actually out of the quantums, out of channel output 3 and 4 on the quantum. I'm coming into a pair of inputs here on the Rodecaster. And that's being routed to the ATEM. So I can control the level of the console right here, which is nice. And you can see the input level, and then here it is in the ATEM, which is pretty conservative actually. And actually, if I change this multi-view, here's my multi-view, I can see it coming in right here. Which again, it's not coming in hot at all because he doesn't have a lot of juice coming out of the console yet. But where that's controlled, let me show you where that's controlled, guys. I'm just going to bring up the mixer here, Dave. Can you just scroll the mixer over?
What do you need to see?
I want to see the video print track. So here's where, this is what's coming out of the Studio One. This is what's going from the SSL to the video record, the video print track.
Do you want a little more volume off of that, or do you like?
No, right now we'll be okay. We'll see once you get ready.
Okay.
So what happens is, I was telling them, so out of the quantum, we have line out 3 and 4. We have a pair of outputs that go directly to the video switcher or directly to this interface, my Rodecaster. Those pair of outputs come right in here. In Studio One in his I/O matrix, we have that video print track that I just showed you. That video print track is what's coming here. Again, I'll do a whole separate video where it's all properly audio and recorded and whatnot, but just to show you, so we can control the SSL completely independent here. And when we do voiceovers while we're recording, like when Dave and I do videos together, we're coming in on channels 1 and 2. Channels 1 and 2 here are voiceover for Uncle Dave, voiceover for David SJ, and that all gets blended together into the ATEM, so everything is blended. So it's an audio mixer for the live stream. But for our live stream, there's no voiceovers going to happen. Dave is just going to mix, and you're not going to hear him talking at all. So that'll be pretty cool. Take you back out here.
Catch Katie on that last minute line to nowhere.
Okay guys, so I think we're going to be ready to do a dry run record here. So you may see at the end of this video, if it all comes out well, actually me switching while Dave's mixing. So he's all set up. He's just getting himself situated and he's ready to roll. So he has all his gear patched in. Not too many pieces for this particular mix because we're going to try to keep it simple. I have my video station all set up. He's got everything kind of preliminary panned, and he's got some faders thrown up, but he's going to pull them down and do a restatic mix on camera. We got the DAW all set up the way we need to have it set up. And yeah, good old David SJ is going to do a little bit of mixing. So hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes, and we'll see you guys during the mix.